Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure to introduce you to this week's Watches 56. Who am I? Jasper Leifring. What's my company? Amsterdam Vintage Watches. I'm here to present you a very diversified lineup. All in steel though, that's the one thing they have in common, and the same goes for my choice of wristwear, the 1601, of course with the exception of the bezel, which is in white gold. This very piece is the price of our giveaway. We just announced the winner because we had 30,000 subscriptions on YouTube. We decided to do something nice for you, and the winner of the 1601 is Frank Tibbe. So big congrats once again, and I'm happy to give you this watch the next week. For now it's still on my wrist. It's a perfectly sized wristwatch, 36 millimeters, and of course I like the case design, the dial design with the pie pen dial, and the Jubilee bracelet, which is very elegant. 1971 is the date of the watch, with the no lume dial and no lume handset. Let's go to the other watches that you cannot win for free, but you can buy them. We are starting with a clean yet characteristic Jaeger-LeCoultre dress watch from 1948, a very early stage where Jaeger-LeCoultre produced beautifully hand-wound movements. Housed in a 37mm measuring steel case, a very big watch. Once again, let me remind you, this watch dating back to 1948, and this is really considered oversized. We paired it with a nice brown ostrich strap, which goes perfectly with the rose gold numerals and the handset. It's a magnificent watch and priced for only 2,600 euros. It is definitely a steal. A Datejust on my wrist, a Datejust in the drop. Reference 16000 is the one with the domed or the smooth bezel. The dial is excellent. A beautiful cappuccino creme colored dial with the white text, paired with the oyster bracelet, which in my opinion is the best suitable combination for this bezel type. The watch is priced at 4,600 euros and dating back to 1978, the very first year of production, where they introduced the quick set date function that we can already find on this 5-digit reference number. One of the very few Datejusts we decided to give some attention in a drop because it's quite a special one. This dial is something you do not see often. Up next, a Breitling produced for the Aircraft Owners and Pilot Association, a AOPA reference 809. Now the 809 is basically a Navitimer, however then having a 24-hour scale. So it is called the Cosmonaut, which is quite uncommon because a regular pilot won't need it. It's more for outer space, and therefore also the name Cosmonaut was introduced. The watch dating back to 1966, having the beautiful glossy galvanic black dial with the small subdials in white. Doesn't say Breitling on the dial, but has the beautiful embossed crest that we can find at the 12 o'clock position. The watch is in excellent condition, especially since we take in consideration it was produced in 1966, I guess, and the price is 6,900 euros. Another wristwatch closely associated with outer space activities is of course the Omega Speedmaster. This one is a pre-moon edition, so dating back to before 1969, when the Apollo 11, which is already 50 years ago, left for their mission to the moon. This watch is 2 years earlier, 1967, 145012 with the 321 caliber inside. The watch, as the applied Omega logo, is in perfect condition, only has a slightly more modern bracelet. Priced at 9,250 euros, will get you this very special Speedmaster. Up next is a Diver, beautifully aged with the date function, a reference 1680. Right after they cut the production of the Red Submariners, they came with this piece dating back to the mid-70s. The watch is priced at 9,800 euros, and I can guarantee you that the next 1680 we will feature in our drop will be more costly. These watches finally get the attention and the value they deserve. And this is a very fine specimen with the original bezel, thick lugs, and the oyster bracelet with diverse extension. We're ending with the last batch of tritium Zenith El Primero based Rolex Daytonas. A mouthful, but you can just say in reference 16520 dating back to 1998. And these watches are fetching crazy prices. 23,000 euro is the tag on this one. And I have to tell you that only 2 years ago we were selling these watches for half the price. It is going crazy, but rightly so. And I'm happy to bring you this beautiful example with the original bezel, with the bracelet dating back to the same year, all in perfect condition. And take a look at that black intriguing dial. We are trying to bring you interesting pieces every week. And we're succeeding. This time we had a Jaeger-LeCoultre dress watch, a beautiful oversized piece, even bigger than the Rolex Datejust 16000 that we featured next. The Breitling Aopa Cosmonaut is something we don't see often and is a beautiful watch to have in a collection, especially if you like watches as the Speedmaster, which is also a chronograph closely related to outer space activities. As I mentioned earlier on, the Submariner is of course known for its diving capabilities. However, you do not have to touch water with this watch. The plexi of the 1680 is something that we all love, even if you're a Cyclops hater. The Rolex Daytona 16520 is blowing our minds with its price development, and I'm happy to have it here, still kind of affordable. So make sure you won't miss this chance to buy your piece. And let me also add that the best day to buy a vintage watch is today.